Model 3 is sandbagging, a new rule in China, Autopilot could be seeing more changes, and New York City gets some fast-charging love. Here's Tesla Tidbits episode number 298 for September 20th, 2017. We begin tonight at Teslarati with a story that will make Model 3 reservation holders quite happy. Tesla gave us a huge surprise with the 310-mile range on the long-range Model 3, but an extra surprise is apparently under the surface as well. According to a bunch of math in the article that you're welcome to check out, the EPA actually is rating the car at 334 miles of range, but Tesla is voluntarily reducing that number. This is a significant difference from Tesla's stated mileage. There are two major reasons that Tesla could be doing this. If you're on the more altruistic side, and the side I happen to be on given Tesla's history, it's because they want to ensure that the car will deliver the range advertised without question. We all know that while better than many other governing bodies, the EPA efficiency ratings are more represent ideal situations rather than real-world measures. Given this is supposed to be the first long-range car for the everyman, Tesla doesn't want Joe or Jane Driver to get any less than they expect, especially when they're already stepping out of their comfort zone by buying an electric car anyway. The other possibility is that they don't want it chewing into Model S 100D sales. With the 100D's range at 335 miles, and it costing nearly double what the same Model 3 would cost, you might see how Tesla would be concerned at a loss of revenue here. I give them the benefit of the doubt, though. As I brought to you many stories of Tesla doing the right thing over and over and over again, I think we're seeing another instance of this here. Sticking with Teslarati, Tesla may have a huge change in its plans for China. Under current regulations, Tesla would have to find a domestic partner in China in order to open a manufacturing plant in the country. However, China's Ministry of Commerce looks to be altering this rule, saying it will, quote, actively implement the opening up of the new energy manufacturing sector to foreigners together with other departments under the direction of the State Council, end quote. The rule would reportedly be implemented by 2018. This would be massive news, as Tesla would be able to run the entire show at the facility rather than having to battle the red tape involved in being required to involve a partner. This would allow them to move however quickly or slowly they needed to for a given situation. We'll see if we get any new definitive China manufacturing news after this announcement. Over to Electrek now, where we see multiple sources claim that Tesla is in the process of designing their own chip to power Autopilot. Sanjay Jha, CEO of Global Foundries, which produces semiconductors, said today that his company was working with Tesla on producing a chip. Following that, CNBC reported that Tesla is working with AMD on the chip, saying, quote, the car maker has received back samples of the first implementation of its processor and is now running tests on it, said a source familiar with the matter, end quote. All of this also follows reports last year that Tesla was working with Samsung on a system-on-chip for the same purpose. There's a lot of smoke here to be no fire, so it would seem that NVIDIA's days of providing Autopilot hardware are numbered. It would make a lot of business sense for Tesla to produce its own chip. After the sudden and very nasty breakup with Mobileye, they would certainly love to ensure that never happens again, and controlling your own destiny on one of your vehicle's most important systems is the way to do just that. Lastly tonight, we end at Electrek, where we learn that New York City is about to get some new fast juice. Mayor Bill de Blasio announced today that the city would invest $10 million in a project that would see the installation of 50 fast-charging stations throughout its 5 boroughs. The mayor said, quote, New York City will continue to invest in the new technologies we need to reduce our emissions, especially in the face of Trump's abdication of leadership on climate. By helping develop the infrastructure necessary for electric vehicles, we're going to make it easier than ever for New Yorkers to switch. This is another step toward aligning our action on climate change with the Paris Agreement's 1.5-degree stretch goal, end quote. Politics aside here, this is great news, especially considering the state of New York implemented a new $2,000 EV incentive as well. With all the news coming from the West Coast on incentives lately, it's good to see that utilizing incentives and investing in EV infrastructure to promote EV adoption is not an idea exclusive to California. You can find the links to today's full stories in the show description. This show operates on a value-for-value model. If you get some value out of what I bring you each day, please consider giving a little value back at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks as usual to my super patrons, John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, and Bruno Quindici for supporting the show at the $10 plus level. If you have no extra cash available, that's fine. Please show your love with positive feedback and subscriptions on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and other services across the internet, or keep the show referral code in mind if you're in the market for a new Tesla. That code is ts.la/JON4602, and it gets you $1,000 off the car and free supercharging for the life of the vehicle. One show note, for those of you that are out there listening on Stitcher, I do apologize for the miss on the conversion of the podcast. I do believe I have it fixed now. We'll just see how long it takes for Stitcher to pick up the change. That's it for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.